No more, used to be. Mastering negative statements in English. Hello language learners. Welcome to another exciting video in our series on English language learning. Today, we're focusing on an interesting topic: negative statements with used to for past habits. It's a common structure in English used to describe habits or routines that we did in the past but no longer do. Buckle up as we learn how to correctly use used to in negative statements. Let's dive straight in. When we talk about things that were true or happened regularly in the past but are no longer true or happening now, we use the structure used to. But what happens when we want to say that something didn't happen in the past or was not a habit? Well, we turn used to into a negative form. A negative statement with used to has this basic structure: subject plus didn't use to plus base form of the verb. Here are some examples. I didn't use to like vegetables. She didn't use to drive to work. It's that simple. Remember, the verb that follows, didn't use to, is always in the base form, regardless of the subject. Now, let's look at some common mistakes people often make when using didn't use to and learn how to avoid them. Mistake 1. Using used to without didn't in negative statements. For example, I used to not play soccer. This is incorrect. Instead, you should say, I didn't use to play soccer. Mistake 2. Adding s to use after didn't. For example, she didn't uses to read books. This is incorrect. The correct sentence is, she didn't use to read books. Remember, did does the tense carrying job in this case, so use stays in its base form. Keep these points in mind to make sure you're using didn't use to correctly. Now that we've learned the rules, it's time to put them into practice. Try making negative statements with used to about your own past habits or situations. For example, I didn't use to enjoy exercising, but now I love it. We didn't use to go on vacations when I was a kid. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. And that wraps up our lesson on negative statements with used to for past habits. I hope you found it helpful and interesting. English grammar might be tricky sometimes, but with a little practice and patience, you'll master it in no time. Keep practicing these negative statements with used to, and soon they will become second nature. Thanks for watching and happy learning.